Good afternoon, I'm Maggie. Today I'd like to tell you about procrastination. Procrastination does not seem to have anything to do with the title of the video, but in fact, it's about teaching you how to stop delay. This is an ancient philosophy called Stoicism, and the methods I am teaching today come from it. The speaker was learning Stoicism through this book called Simplicity, and there is a sentence in it has a profound impact on the speaker. That is, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality, and it means we often imagine a lot before we start. This too much fantasy will affect our action, so that we are too afraid to do. Therefore, I will teach you how to overcome your fear, and you won't procrastinate. It consists of 3 pages. The first page here, the title is Whatever You Fear, Whatever You Are Putting Off. For an easy example, go on a trip. In the first column, define, you are writing down all of what things you can imagine happen if you take a step. For me, it may rain later and I can't finish my homework. And then you go to prevent column. In that column, you should write down what could I do to prevent these items happening. Here is my answer. Then we go to repair. What could we do to repair the damage? And my answer is, second page is simple. What might be the benefit is an attempt or partial success. We always see the bad side of things, but in fact, we forgot the advantage of success. Page 3, and it is the important one. You should ask yourself, if I avoid this action, what might my life look on? Usually we hesitate to face the important decision because the cost of it is too large, so we pursue ourselves to get out the decision. And we often find a lot of excuses to convince ourselves. Each coin has 2 sides. It might be risky, but it must also be highly profitable. Otherwise, you wouldn't have this idea. So here is a conversation between the speaker and his friend. His friend successfully overcame his fear and made a life-changing move, and as a result, he became a successful and great man.
And there's a punchline coming, so pay attention. I sent him a text a few weeks ago asking him, had he ever read any Stoic philosophy? And he replied with 2 pages of text. This is very unlike him. He is a terse dude. And not only was he familiar with Stoicism, but he pointed out for all of his most important decisions, his inflection points, when he stood up for his principles and ethics, how he had used Stoicism and something akin to fear setting, which blew my mind. And he closed with 2 things. Number 1, he couldn't imagine any life more beautiful than that of a Stoic. And the last was his mantra, which he applies to everything, and you can apply to everything. Easy choices, hard life. Hard choices, easy life.
I'd like to conclude with the quote from it. It is a great sentence. The more we are afraid, the more we should do. Don't be afraid to fail. Not to mention the fact that you didn't even try. If you say no before you try, it is your imagination trusting you. Don't forget, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. And thanks for your listening.